There were some interesting coincidences today and within the last 3 weeks. My last client today was Sean, spelt the same as me. And every time I meet another Sean, I always like to ask what their middle name is. And his middle name is also Michael. And I said, my middle name is Michael too. And I asked him if I'm the only Sean Michael he knows, and he said, yeah, he really liked the massage. He's gonna not only put a good review in for me, but he's gonna, reschedule with me. So that's cool. It worked out good, and I'm glad he enjoyed the session. I remember several months ago, I ended my shift with someone named Sean. I think he was Sean Patrick was his middle name. But yeah, that was just cool though, running into the same person with the same Sean and Michael. But and the client before that, he says he knows John and Bonnie. The previous owners at Massage Envy, my last job, was John and Bonnie. And I actually ran into them 22 days ago. It was 3 Saturdays ago. I was looking for a parking spot, and there is no parking spot available. And then the one car that's backing up, or it's going to back up, is John and Bonnie's car, because I saw them walk in front of my car to their car. And then, they left, and then I took their spot. How cool is that, running into them? And then, 3 weeks later, in one day, I run into somebody who actually knows them, and I mentioned to the person I used to work at Massage Envy, tell them I said hello. They might remember me because I was a high performer, been there a long time. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool though. And again, I think he liked the massage too, and I'm not sure if he'll reschedule or not, but I think he will. We talked about socks and stuff like that too, and yeah, that's one of my hobbies and interests, so I was talking about that. But anyways, yeah, there's other ones as well. But yeah, the Sean Michael, he said he's going to put a good review in, so that's going to be funny seeing that review, how Sean Michael is leaving a good review for Sean Michael. Yeah, so it worked out pretty good. It was a good productive day. I had 8 hours of massage in my 9-hour shift. I had 2 2-hour sessions as well, and one of the 2 hours rescheduled with me, so that was cool. And then also too, I was gonna say June 4th is Jeremy Sowerby's court date. I remember June 7th of 2007 was my hire date at Massage Envy, so it's almost on the anniversary date that would have been had I still been at Massage Envy. It would have been 18 years. But yeah, Jeremy Sowerby, the guy who I was involved with, 17 years ago now. But I don't want to talk about that. That's in previous videos. But I was going to say, I actually have 2 employees I work with, 2 coworkers with the initials JS as well. And the mechanic who last worked on my car, the last 3 issues, his initials is JS. And he's actually a really good mechanic. I highly recommend him for anyone who wants a mobile mechanic, someone who comes to you to do work, especially if it's stuff they could do under the hood. But Jovan Stigger is his name, and he's really good, and he's quick and fast, and he does a good job, and he charges cheaper than most auto shops. So I'm very happy with the work he did with me, and it's just cool how his initials are JS. And I happen to work with 2 people with JS initials too. So, but anyways, I'm looking forward to June 4th date. Looking forward to seeing what the sentencing is. I think it's going to be at least 17 years minimum, just being conservatively, but I'm hoping it's longer, especially what he's done to me and many other people. And I still hope I get reimbursed for what he stole from me, but it's a long shot. But it's just something that I've just been thinking about as well, and just kind of been upset about. But nonetheless, I'm moving on from that. Just trying to block it all out. But yeah, so 3 days ago or so, my first client was a car mechanic as well. So again, that kind of coincidentally ties in with the other mechanic that I'm talking about right now. So, but anyways, and then I also, my first client the day before that, or 2 days before that, her name was Courtney. And it's funny because that same day before work, I had a memory upload from like Facebook. This was something from like 8 years ago or 9 years ago. They posted a memory with me and my niece Courtney. And then coincidentally, I happened to have a first client named Courtney that day. So again, cool coincidence. And then also too, within this last week or so, I like to record my friend's songs on the radio that come up and then tell her to guess who it is or tell her who it is, you know, songs I like, and I just send parts of them. And I've been sending her a couple Billy Joel songs within the last, 3 days or so. Like at least two or three different Billy Joel songs. And then she actually texted me back saying that her work was playing a Billy Joel song, Piano Man, because I had to ask her what the song was. She said, yeah, it was Piano Man. But I'm like, I know he's got better songs than that. I mean, that is a good song, but he's got other good ones as well. That's like just the mainstream song that most people know about. But yeah, it's just kind of coincidental that she happened to be listening to Billy Joel when I sent her a recording that same day. But yeah, so it's just cool. I like to, like I said, remember some of these coincidences and just kind of reflect on them. It's purely just random with a million different scenarios that go on. A couple different things are bound to, connect. It's just the law of math. There's obviously not always meaning with them, but sometimes we try to associate it. But we try to associate it with meaning, but sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason. I would say most of the time. But still, it's cool to think about, and I'm good at recognizing coincidences. But yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that for now. All right.